Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be the February monthly reading for Scorpio. Any major Scorpio placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Keep in mind, timing and energy is fluid. Not every reading is going to be for you, so please only take with you the messages that resonate and leave behind the rest. Also, keep in mind, energies can be swapped around, Scorpio. Although my intention is to be speaking directly to you, I very well could be speaking directly to a cross watcher. So my intentions are for whoever needs to hear the message the most. I don't know what's going on, Scorpio, but I got very anxious getting ready to tap into your energy. I felt very just restless, triggered, like something's boiling below the surface that kind of needs to be released. So however that resonates, let's jump in with the cards, Scorpio, and see what needs to come through. If you have not already done so, do feel free to hit that subscribe button below. But let's jump in and see what needs to come through. Well, I think you've got yourself in a very sticky situation. I think you're tangled in a karmic knot. I think it's time to undo some damage is what I feel. Unsuccessful plans. Yeah, that's what I was feeling. Accusations. I think get ready to deal with some accusations, some trouble. I think somebody's throwing you under the bus, throwing you into the frying pan. I think, yeah, definitely some unsettled times. Maybe you leapt and didn't think things through. And I think maybe you need to plan ahead because something is feeling very aggressive, very off. Yeah. Be careful. Be careful. I think you already took a risk. And I think somebody's got their claws in you. And I think beware of danger. Danger. Especially when it comes to any financial matters. Something is feeling off. I think get ready to maybe cross paths and meet a stranger. Definitely a handshake or a meeting that is going to be of significant importance. Maybe when it's coming to help you, someone's coming to help you climb towards success. Yeah, there's definitely somebody here, an aggressive energy. Someone will try to make you do something against your will. I think be cautious. I think you're dealing with some very aggressive energy in the month of February. So let's keep going here, Scorpio, and see what else needs to come through. Have you been feeling all alone? I kind of feel this very uncomfortable energy. Maybe you're feeling lonely. I think maybe you need to, get used to enjoying your own company. You definitely are encouraged to enjoy your own company and to restore a sense of peace from the inside out by loving who you truly are. So I think get ready to do a deep dive into some underworld shadow aspects in order for you to reignite your passions. I kind of feel some dark night of the soul energy, and I kind of feel get ready for some aggression. So what else does Scorpio need to be aware of? We've got a divine masculine here, so you could be dealing with a divine masculine. You could be this divine masculine. Somebody's in this void. I think you're kind of in this transition stage. Not quite closing out one cycle and stepping into a new life yet. I think there's a lot going on energetically behind the scenes, Scorpio, as maybe a divine masculine is experiencing a soul awakening. I think somebody's really been receiving a lot of messages from the ancestors. Somebody's being divinely watched over as they go through a soul awakening. And this is linked to your purpose. Whether you're this masculine or connected to one, somebody's going through a very intense, aggressive soul awakening when it comes to your personal identity. When it comes to this massive global awakening, and I kind of feel somebody's been in this deep, dark void, like this zeroing out some karma energy. I do feel a lot of healing light around this transformation. I kind of feel somebody here is being prompted to make some big, big changes and to reevaluate your life path. I do feel somebody's ready to learn a major, valuable karmic lesson, and I do feel this is, I said that and I shit you not, Scorpio, karmic lesson. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely a karmic lesson being learned. This is around some past life experiences, past life karma that you came to balance out and zero out. And I do think this is a very painful lesson in order for growth, expansion, and new opportunities. So, what are you holding on to? Somebody here needs to offer forgiveness. Somebody here is holding on to a lot of bitterness, a lot of pain, a lot of regret, which I feel is triggering an awakening. I feel somebody's been very stuck and stagnant. Maybe somebody took a risk in the wrong direction in the past, and now they've got to dig themselves up from rock bottom in order to climb the ladder to success. Wherever you've been at, there's not successful plans, there's trouble, there's accusations, and I feel somebody's got their claws in you. Maybe when it comes to your money, maybe you need to watch your money. I think you really got to release any negative, unwanted thought patterns is a big message, Scorpio. Whatever circumstance is coming up to be addressed, I do feel you are ready to receive this lesson, to bring something full circle. Oh my God. Because maybe what you're learning when it comes to this karmic lesson is something that you're bringing forward to impart wisdom within the collective. I think major integration of yourself, your soul's purpose. A lot is happening, so there's something you need to let go of. Maybe it's fear. Maybe you're facing fear. I think you are encouraged to practice forgiveness and unconditional love. Forgiveness will liberate your heart from this pain. And I think maybe a meeting with a stranger is going to give you that extra push that you need to, go into this reevaluation of any destructive habits that are remaining that have really kept you stuck and stagnant. So get ready to evaluate your choices. I think you might be coming to a crossroads in the month of February. Divine Masculine. Let's see what else needs to come through with the Energy Oracle deck. Get ready for a storm warning. There is a significant soul contract coming to a close. There is a need for balance. There is a need to take the blinders off. Somebody's not been paying attention. Somebody's had those rose-colored glasses on, and this storm warning is coming to clear the pathway forward. Let's read into this energy, Scorpio. What do you got going on here? We have many soul contracts along the journey, and some of them are for a positive experience, some of them are for a negative experience, and all soul contracts are a part of our growth. So there's definitely a new partnership or legal commitment here, maybe a commitment coming to the close. Maybe you're going to be experiencing some legal action when it comes to a soul contract that is underway when it comes to closing out. Whether or not this will turn into your favor, time will tell, but I think somebody blindly jumped in to a connection, not really thinking about the consequences. And I feel it's time to unbind yourself from this very karmic knot that you've not been so receptive to. I think you might not be seeing this coming. I kind of feel you're ending a connection and stepping into a new future commitment is the energy coming up. So maybe you've had a lot of delays when it comes to this fallout. Maybe you're trying to sell a house and maybe the sale fell through. I think whatever is coming up, there is a new romantic union, but I think you've been stalled. I think something's been stalled when it comes to ending a cycle. So any delays really provide you a purpose. They provide you protection in order for you to kind of integrate these lessons. So I think be cautious. Don't become desperate. You might be struggling financially. I think you are encouraged to continue taking action in another direction. And it's time for you to resolve this karmic debt. I feel zeroing out, paying back some karmic debt. So I think be fully present in order to commit to owning this karmic lesson and honoring your heart. I think good news is around the corner, but you got a major storm that you're going to have to face first and foremost. And I think this is coming in very fast. I think it's coming to clear the pathway because I think there's a lot of difficulties when it comes to your external circumstances, when it comes to your deep inner emotional energy. I think difficulty keeps inching closer and closer and closer. And I feel you've known this has been coming. And I feel now that it's in your conscious awareness, you're really scared to deal with this energy. I think it's time for you to honor pure intentions. If somebody was dishonest here, unfaithful, I think this storm is coming forward in order for somebody to take action in a new direction. I kind of feel, don't worry, I think the dark times are going to be over very soon. Something is coming to light in order for a reassessment and a redirection. So major contract coming to a close when it comes to a brand new soul contract. But let's keep going, Scorpio, and see what else needs to come through for you. What else does Scorpio need to be aware of when it comes to these energies for the month of February? We do have a man holding a heart, and he's not giving it away yet. Maybe because he's brokenhearted. Maybe somebody's had their heart ripped right out of their chest. You know, it's not inside of him, and I feel it's kind of time to speak some truth. Maybe somebody's brokenhearted over this goddess of the moon, this mystic healer energy, Pisces. And then we got your energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Somebody here is deeply hurting. Somebody here needs to speak up and speak some truth in order to restore financial security, because I do think you've been struggling with financial constraints. I do think you're dealing with a victim mentality, a lack mentality, and maybe the cupboards are bare. Maybe it's time to speak some truth to get back into alignment. Either way, somebody, I feel, has been emotionally bankrupt. And the gateway portal to manifesting some newfound blossoming abundance is by opening up the pathway of the heart. Maybe you've been in separation, but there is a beautiful goddess energy here. And I think somebody's coming forward with some communication, because somebody I feel here is deeply hurting over this goddess of the moon. Wow. Let's keep going and see what some of these influencing energies are. Somebody's riddled with deception, victim mentality. Somebody here needs to shift their consciousness. 7-7, the number from heaven. It is the number of the mystic. 7-7-7. I think there's a major shift in consciousness. It's time to release this, oh, poor, pitiful me, pity party energy. I think there might be a lot of gossip behind the scenes. Somebody here is wearing a false mask. Somebody here needs to find their courage to step towards true love. True love is always an inside job. There is a higher level of commitment here. The signing of a new soul contract that will lead to everlasting true love. But somebody needs to face their deepest, darkest fears. I feel somebody's energy is very fragmented and shattered. They're trying to pick up the broken pieces of a broken heart as there is this major rediscovery. Oh my God, what is going on, Scorpio? Let's read into that energy if I can find the book. I want to read into this victim mentality because I kind of feel you've been in this void for quite some time. This victim mentality isn't doing you any favors. I think it's time to shift your mindset. Victim mentality. 53. Breaking down to an 8. Maybe this is about a past regret. I think, Scorpio, it's time to take your power back. I think you've been on the floor splashing around in this emotional baggage. And it's kind of time to resign from a very toxic situation in order for you to embrace freedom. I feel like you've got the rope around your neck. You've got a very low-grade victim consciousness here when it comes to whatever situation you're in that you're not going to have successful plans in. I think you're dealing with a lot of accusations. You're feeling powerless. You feel like you can't direct your destiny. And it's kind of time to take your power back, to stand up for yourself, to take action, and move on from a very toxic situation. So I kind of feel you always have the power to break free from whatever has been holding you back. And it's time for you to stop this analysis paralysis. It's really time for you to release this power-hungry person who's been trying to control your life. I think it's a negative story that keeps looping back round and round from your past, and it's time for you to break this negative pattern. It's time for you to break this destruction. I feel, although you've had this powerless point of view, Scorpio, it's time for you to just step up and step away. Whatever disempowering situation you are facing, you can no longer remain passive in your life. You long for inner strength and for self-value. So you and only you have the courage to stand up for yourself. So although I think it is scary, I remember seeing that fear card come out. You always have the right to make a different choice. And I think somebody here is stepping into a true loving connection, a higher level of commitment, releasing that negative energy and finding that personal strength of spirit to armor up, boss up, and do what you need to do. And maybe this hurts. Maybe you have to release something in order to go towards this committed partnership. But I think the energy is saying the time is now to embrace these changes. Yeah, the fates are saying it's time to go. You've been sleeping, you've been resting, you've been having a nap, and I think it's time to wake up from this sleeping slumber because you've got somewhere to go, and maybe you're not quite sure where you're going because I don't think the pathway is clear, but the fates are saying if you don't leave this situation on your own, we're going to throw you out of here. Because you can't stay sleeping. It's time to kind of step into your life purpose because something so much more fulfilling is awaiting you, Scorpio. So what is being evaluated? What is Scorpio evaluating in the month of February? There's that leap. Take that leap. Come to the edge. There's something unfinished here that needs to come back around to close out. There's something that somebody needs to take a leap towards. There is a co-creative journey, but somebody needs to be left out in the cold. I think going into some core abandonment wounds, but I think you will come out victorious. This is you birthing a brand new co-creative path moving forward. There is a divine masculine here that I feel is going into some very painful abandonment wounds, clearing some past karma, some negative emotions, before taking action towards this goddess of the moon is what I'm feeling. A lot of reconciliation energy coming up with the readings this month. So let's read into this orphaned energy because there are big, big changes. And when we go through this deep-seated healing process, we go through this alone. We feel abandoned, even though you are never, ever truly alone. So let's read into this, Scorpio. Yeah, I think a sense of loss. Maybe you're going through a self-identity crisis. We do have Aries and Chiron, which is all about self-identity. So maybe you need to recognize where you don't fit in anymore. Maybe it's time to readjust and reanalyze your social structure. I think you do belong somewhere. And once you find that place from within, that's where you're going to know where to go next. I think you've got a lot of toxic connections here, whether this is family connections, social circles, but I kind of feel like no man is an island. It's important to recognize that you're always part of a bigger whole. Nothing is ever separate from you. So I kind of think you need to figure out where you fit in. You need to figure out what your core truths are, what your core values are, what you want to identify with when it comes to stepping into a new co-creative experience. Let go of any pressure to fit in. It doesn't matter. Never ever compare yourself to another's journey. And not everybody is going to understand you and receive you well. So if you're not being welcomed where you're at, perhaps it's time to move on. Perhaps it's time to shift, evolve, and move beyond this current commitment, because I think it's caused you a lot of disappointment and a lot of hurt. And it's not been providing you what it is that you deeply deserve. I think you've been drifting apart for quite some time. And it's time for you to discover that maybe you just don't share the same values and beliefs anymore. Maybe that's why you're feeling left out. So, in order to have that safe, intimate place of belonging, you have to be able to feel comfortable with that person. So I think you're kind of breaking free from the artificial connection. And the energy, I think, is reminding you that all things are possible. But I think you better go deep within, facing your shadow side. I think there's a fear of abandonment that needs to come up to be addressed, because any lingering fears really do prevent that very positive experience of being deeply intimate with another. I think that threatens your survival fears going into this deep intimacy. So I think maybe you've created a very inappropriate family structure. And it's time for you to break free from these unhealthy alliances, these unhealthy allegiances, and build that solid foundation from ground zero. Nobody is going to abandon you, but you have been abandoning yourself by staying in a relationship that I think is very dysfunctional. And it's time for you to recognize this pattern in order to interrupt it once and for all. It's really time to come to the edge, Scorpio, and to go in a new direction. So don't fear being alone. We're never, ever alone. We always have angelic protection, our guides. Either way, the fates are saying it's time to close out a cycle from the past. And I think it's time to find your true soul family, your true soul tribe. So let's keep going and see what else needs to come through with the Psychic Tarot. If you don't leave on your own, you will be thrown out. There is something very, very toxic here. Could be dealing with a Capricorn or a Cancer. I think it's time to face this shadow aspect. You're going to have a major life disruption because you've been all tied up. You've played into addictions, whether this is an actual addiction or extreme codependency, materialism, greed, whatever it is, you've not been in high vibration. And it's time to confront these fears. So get ready for something to crumble because you can't stay where you're at. The universe is saying this is toxic. This is full of lustful temptations, instant gratification. And it's time to bring this into your awareness, Scorpio. It's time for you to integrate this lesson once and for all if you are to restore harmony in your life. I think there will be an unexpected choice in love with the lovers in order to restore a sense of harmony. Gemini energy, but get ready because the fates are going to spin you forward. This is a destined time for many in the collective, and we can't keep playing into these low-grade negative vices anymore. Whatever's been tempting you, get ready to get it off your pathway. You need to plan ahead. These are very unsettling times, and get ready because I think somebody's going to try and get their claws in you to get you to go back into these self-destructive habits, and it's time to reevaluate, or the universe is going to come and make you move. So, all right, Scorpio, let's see what needs to come through with the tarot. Yeah, there's that overindulgence. 9 of Cups reversed, over drinking, over partying, masking the pain. 6 of Pentacles reversed. Something isn't balanced here. Somebody's been given to more than one. And you need to let this die away. There's resistance to this change. There's something way off balance here, way off track. You need to allow this to stop because these addictions are hurting your future. And I think you know it's time to move. You know it's time to go towards happily ever after. And maybe you need to deal with any energies of maybe not feeling worthy or deserving of happiness. Maybe all of this bitterness has really played into some negative vices, and forgiveness is going to be needed in order for you to assert some logic, to progress forward. I think, you've been sulking. There's that missed opportunity. You went towards a third party. Somebody here went towards a third party. And now all they can think about is that missed opportunity. All they can think about is wanting to drink out of that holy grail chalice and to heal their broken heart. I do think this hurts. I think the time is now to heal something from the past that has been a long-standing burden. There was an ending in the past. The 6 of Cups reverse is the end of a contract. It's time to close out this cycle when it comes to these toxic childhood patterns. I feel this is stemming around some childhood wounds, and I do think things are getting worse. There is a need for balance and to cut out that third party energy. 4433. This party is over. There really is nothing left to celebrate here. You really need to go into healing and accept this truth, because it's time to shift your perceptions. It's time to shift that perspective, because I think these addictions have cost you financially. I think you've lost a lot of money. I think you've been playing into self-pity, martyrdom. You've done something foolish here. Somebody's done something foolish here. You've resisted a brand new cycle. And I kind of feel you missed out on a big opportunity of love. I was just checking to make sure the deck wasn't upside down. There's like a big absence of anything healthy in your life. I feel it's kind of time to get back into the heart. Maybe this is a heart chakra awakening, but I kind of feel there is something coming to an end. The only upright card is the Hanged Man and the Four of Cups. So major perceptions are shifting when it comes to deep-seated healing, when it comes to doing the work, to being grounded, to being stable, to being solid. And I think somebody is seeking forgiveness for, being a player. I think somebody played games in the past. And I think that's come around full circle. Something's coming out to be addressed. Someone's getting a wake-up call. Because the time is now. You've had your foot stuck in the wheel is what I'm feeling. It's time to consciously release this burden, Scorpio. Could be dealing with a Pisces, an Aries, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Aries, Leo, Sag, Aquarius, Cancer. But this burden needs to be released. I think something's coming to a dead stop because you need some healing, Scorpio. So let's dig a little bit further here and go into your person. Let's see what needs to come through for your person with the archetype deck. What can you tell me about Scorpio's person, please? You're dealing with a goddess here, Scorpio. You're dealing with a divine feminine energy who expresses her natural life force energy through wisdom, sensuality, and grace. And I think maybe in the past you went towards a feminine that exploited you. I think there's a lot of gossip surrounding this connection. I think somebody's coming into an awakening when it comes to their feelings for this Empress, this goddess energy, and it's kind of time to honor those feelings. I think maybe you betrayed this Empress's confidence in the past, and now you want to heal this broken connection. I see a feminine here that helps those in need with no expectations of return. And I kind of feel you've been misled down the wrong path. Somebody here has been misled, and I think it's time to guide yourself back home to where you belong. So what can you tell me about Scorpio's energy, please? I think you're looking for answers. You're seeking for truth. Maybe you had an inability to commit to the spiritual path, and now you're begging for a second chance. Somebody here is begging for a second chance. I feel going into some core abandonment wounds. Somebody is awakening to their spiritual authority, going through a moment of humility in order to restore compassion. It's time to confront these empowerment issues at the survival level, because you're dealing with the queen here, and I think somebody sabotaged a twin soul connection. I think the feminine here is radiating regal, divine light, and is really protecting her inner authority, and I think maybe that's triggering some arrogant behavior here. A lot of challenges when it comes to a controlling and demanding person, and I feel all of this self-destructive behavior is coming to an end because you cannot stay in the sphere of self-empowerment. These changes are needed in order for this liberation to take place. So free yourself from these outdated beliefs. Somebody needs to release these negative thought patterns because it's really imposed tyranny over your life. And it's really brought forward a lot of legitimate financial constraints that I don't think you can ignore any further. Party's over. Yeah, you're dealing with a trickster. Somebody here is deceiving you. Somebody here is wearing a mask. What else can you tell me about Scorpio's energy for the month of February, please? Let your friends help you. I think you need to ask for help. Maybe somebody here didn't want to ask for help. Maybe you're in a marriage or a committed partnership and the children have been deeply affected. I think you need some support. You need to keep an open mind. I think give your relationship a chance. I think pay attention to the red flags. Do not go back into another cycle of this abuse. I think it's time for you to come into this awareness that maybe you're on different spiritual paths, and it's time to kind of move in a new direction. I think if you give this another chance, this karmic lesson is going to get you into more trouble. So liberate yourself. Go into that deep inner introspection in order to intently focus on what it is that you want to bring forward. There is a divine masculine here going through a spiritual awakening, and I do think he needs assistance getting out of a partnership. And maybe children, kept somebody stuck for quite some time. But it's time for you to open up your mind and broaden that perspective to see things from that higher vantage point. But let's get you a couple messages from Spirit. Know when to walk away. If the relationship doesn't last, Scorpio, then maybe the universe is telling you it wasn't supposed to. I do think partnership requires compromise and an open mind. And there's a karmic closure here because a divine partner is on your path. And it will be a love like you have never known before. So know when to walk away because there's no more working together here. There's no harmony. There's no growth. I think, yeah, somebody here is struggling. And I think it's time for you to allow the divine to weave its magic in your life because Spirit is ready to offer you that guidance to go in a new direction. And you just have to be willing to follow Spirit's lead. I think the relationship you are in, Scorpio, is serving you to teach you something very important when it comes to a karmic cycle that is needing to finally close out. I think somebody needs help, whether you need to offer healing help to somebody or somebody needs you. I think somebody is getting brave. Somebody is finding their strength, their power to break free and to come forward with that truth because a lie hurts. Yes, a lie hurts, but it hurts so many people. The truth truly is what sets you free. So I think it's time to get rigorously honest with yourself. Somebody here is struggling. Somebody here needs compassion and understanding at this time. And Spirit is really pushing somebody to open up their mind and to come forward in that vulnerability to ask for some assistance because although maybe you don't know it and you don't see it, there is a divine plan at work and somebody here really needs to adopt a healthy state of mind. I think illusions are being shattered. It's time to release these negative influences because wherever you've been at, I don't think you've been treated with dignity and respect, and this relationship is a lesson, not a blessing. So raise that vibration in order to bring people of that same caliber into your life because the universe has been sending you the signs, the synchronicities about what to do, and I think it's kind of time to break free from something very, very negative. But let's jump in with a couple of crystal stone deck messages for a closing message. What else does Scorpio need to be aware of? I think develop your foresight. I think you didn't see this coming. How the hell did you not see this coming, Scorpio? I think you definitely saw this coming. There's been the signs. There's been the things. You've ignored the red flags, and I think somebody's getting ready to blow the lid off something that needs to come to a close, and I think it is going to create a lot of gossip, and I think the children might be deeply affected. So I kind of think it's time for you to rewrite your destiny and to point your heart towards grace, forgiveness, and honoring finding your center and fueling your passion for life again. I think it's time to get rid of this bad habit. I think, figure out a cause that's worth fighting for and do it. Maybe somebody's coming back with a ring in their hand. I'm not sure, but I think it's time to break free from these fears. I think you're going through a major, major realignment and a karmic reset, and it's time to step out of your own way. If you've been hiding in a shell, it's time to square up with the universe. Something needs to be balanced and zeroed out. So get ready to be saturated with states of transcendence as you break these chains over your heart and really open up the gateway to release this temporary situation. I think somebody has lost their courage to love and to be loved, and somebody's opening up their heart to a beautiful new experience. I think this distraction is getting cut away because somebody is awakening to their truth, breaking free from these illusions and these psychic influences that really have swallowed them whole. And I kind of feel it's time to break out of this tired gray thought pattern and to re-energize your life because your pathway to enlightenment is being cleared wide open. And all you got to do is allow the universe to work its magic in your life in order to progress forward. So break free from these bad energies, break free from these extra shady people, and get ready for a brutal life transformation in the month of February. And that's what I've got for you, Scorpio. I hope this resonated. I don't think that's going to be for everybody, but if you find this resonated and you would like to go deeper with booking a personal reading with me, please feel free to check out the description box below, and I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.